Welcome to High School Sports on the Hartford Cable Network. I'm Don Morrison. Today, delighted to be at Geneva Farm Golf Course up here a little bit north of the Rock State Park in Street, Maryland. Bill Buzzell, the operations manager here at Geneva. What a day for golf. If you wanted to pick a day, this would be the day you'd want.
Oh, you couldn't pick better weather than this. It's perfect for the conditions out on the course. Beautiful out here today.
And Bill, October is, of course, the ideal time to play golf in baseball. Anything you want to do outdoors, as long as you don't have a day like we're having tomorrow, which is rain all day. Today, sunshine, temperatures probably in the 60s, no wind, just perfect.
You have to contribute that to great planning.
Yeah, right, Bill, on whose part. But anyhow, 30 years this course has been here. Next year you celebrate your 30th anniversary. Tell me about this course, how it was planned. Jack Davis, the farmer whose land this is, who had the dream of the golf course. Tell me how it developed.
Well, Jack was a farmer, gentleman farmer, and when he decided to retire, he wanted to make sure that this land in particular did not fall to development for housing. And the only way he could figure out to keep it from doing that was to build a golf course. And Jack was not a golfer himself, but he created a beautiful venue for playing golf up here. We are celebrating our 30th anniversary next year, so we will be running specials all year, and we hope to see a lot of the Harford County people come up here and play.
I so remember 1988 standing out there beyond the pond and with Jack Davis as he explained what he was going to do and pointed at his dairy barn, which is right behind me, and said, "That's going to be my clubhouse." And I sort of laughed to myself and said, "Yeah, right." And here we are 30 years later, exactly his dream has come true. Wonderful, wonderful place to be.
It absolutely is, and we're glad to be sponsoring the tournament again this year. We're very big on junior golf here, and this just lends itself to that dream.
Bill, that was my next question. You do host North Hartford all year long. This is their host course. They don't pay anything for the use of the course. Why is it that you do all those kind of free things with North Hartford and with the county?
Well, we're trying to develop the youth of Harford County for playing golf, and the results are amazing this year. We do have a Saturday league actually that runs up here on Saturday afternoons for juniors. It's run by Matt Ferguson, who is the director over at Churchville Golf Center. He has 20 to 30 kids that come up here every Saturday afternoon and play tournament golf, 9 holes.
Bill Buzzell, wonderful thing. Hang with me a second. I'm going to turn over and talk to John Evans. John, tournament director. I have to say, all the way from Florida to come up here to do this tournament, that's dedication.
Well, it's for the kids, really. That's what it's all about. And I've been coordinating this tournament for several years now, and I had a desire to come up, and so here I am.
Well, John, it should be a great day for golf. Talk about some of the leading golfers we're going to see today.
Well, we had a district qualifier, or a district tournament and state qualifier back in late September, and our district, which includes Hartford and Cecil counties, was able to qualify 3 teams to go to the state championships. We also qualified 2 individuals to do the same. Specifically, Patterson Mill and Falston will be in the 1A, 2A division again for state golf at the state championships at University of Maryland Golf Course. And C. Milton Wright is the 3A, 4A District 7 champion, and they'll be going as a team as well. We had, in addition to that, from the North Hartford team, Bill, we had Zach Wilcox qualify as an individual. And from Aberdeen High School, a freshman lady named Erica Honadell also qualified to go as an individual to state. So we're proud of that result as well.
We're talking about kids who are going to be golfing in the 70s, the top golfers, on a course like this, which is not an easy course. It's very difficult.
That's very true. As a matter of fact, all but one of those individuals that I mentioned at Mountain Branch did break 80, and we look for similar results today.
This course we're going to be showing the 18th, which is an interesting hole, unique. Across ponds, you almost have to have a 90-degree shot, your second shot, unless you're one of those big hitters that chooses to drive it on the green from the tee. That we haven't seen yet, but we're looking forward. You think somebody might do that today?
I think a few of them will try to take this risk-reward par 4, take the challenge on to try to get it closer, maybe onto the green. It's a very difficult shot, blocked by individual trees. There are a couple of golfers in the field that do have the distance to do so. Whether the accuracy is there remains to be seen. Most of the players you'll see on this telecast will play a safe shot into the fairway, leaving an approach of anywhere from 100 to 150 yards into a rather difficult green with all of the undulations and an interesting pin today.
John, that's what we want to talk about. That's the beginning of the problem, getting across the pond, getting on the green. Here it's a very long green from front to back, but very narrow from left to right. And it's there's not a straight putt. We're out there putting early this morning. There isn't a straight putt there.
No, there isn't. The pin today is set just over a crest. There are a couple of areas on the green due to an unfortunate chemical spill that are a bit damaged, so we're going to provide relief on the line of putt that's equidistant to where the ball is if it's necessary at the discretion of the player. So you may see some people moving their golf balls from where they stopped on the green, and it's perfectly legal, and we are providing that relief in the interest of fair play.
John Evans, thank you so much. Thanks for all you do for the kids here in Harford County, and thanks for coming all the way back from Florida to host this tournament.
Well, it's a pleasure, and again, as I said before, it's for the kids.
All right. Well, stay tuned. It should be a great day here at Geneva Farm Golf Course. Again, it is the Harford County Championships. You'll see young women and young men competing with one another for the county title. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the golf in just a moment. Well, welcome into Geneva Farm Golf Course. A perfectly beautiful day for golf. No wind. Temperatures probably somewhere in the 60s. Paul Metzger, you know, if you designed a day for golf, this would be the day you design.
We get lucky every year here, Don. If we had this thing tomorrow, we're supposed to have a lot of rain tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And everybody needs the rain, but we don't need it today.
No.
This is beautiful. It's so great to be back up here. Being a farm boy from Ohio, I just love the drive coming up here this morning and all the beautiful countryside and everything.
Absolutely. I think back 22 years ago, about 1988, 21 years ago, I was up here with Jack Davis, the farmer who owned this farm, 7 generations in the Davis family, and he was getting ready to stop farming. He had no heirs who wanted to farm. He was looking for a way to keep it in green rather than housing development, and he said, I think I'll build a golf course. So I said, well, Mr. Davis, I guess you're a golf fan, right? No, I never picked up a club in my life. So, well, how are you going to build a golf course? I'll do it. And I sort of laughed to myself, certainly not to Jack, because he's a great gentleman. But 2 years later, 1990, this course opened, and here it is 30 years later almost. They're getting ready to celebrate their 30th anniversary. It's been a golf course open to the public, which in 1988 in Harford County, there were no public golf courses in the county that you could actually go out and play golf. So it has been a godsend for guys like you and me who are golf fanatics.
Yes, and the nice thing about it, how many years we've been coming up here to Geneva, it's just they've always welcomed us. They've always had this wonderful golf course for the students here in our Harford County and all the many opportunities these kids get.
Bill Buzzell, who's the operations manager here, was talking about that. They have a league on Saturdays. The kids come play for free. North Harford, this is their home course, so they practice every day here, again, for free. And Bill said, honestly, it's a little self-serving because they want to build the game for young people. So if young people get to love the game, then when they become adults, they'll come back and hopefully play at Geneva.
Yes, and that's a real smart way to go about it, because if the young people don't play, us old guys, we're kind of getting where we can't get out there all the time.
Yeah.
We need the young guys, the young kids, the girls, to get out here and play.
Paul, it's a shotgun start today, so we have groups on every hole. We're sitting here at the 18th green, so we'll be monitoring the tee shots, the second shot into the green, and in the putts. Let's talk, Paul, about each of the shots first of all. The tee shot, what are you as a, let's say, a scratch golfer, somebody who's very good, what is your aim? What do you want to do?
Well, it's going to be short, so if you have a long drive, you're not going to be able to use your driver on this hole. It's and the placement here, so you get a good second shot into the green, is going to be very important here.
We talked about, again, cutting the corner. The big golfer, the guy who can hit it 300 yards, this hole's only about, 320, something like that from the tee. You can cut the corner, go over the pond, get it on the green in one, and you've got an eagle opportunity. Other hand, you can slice it into the pond, pull it into the first fairway, duff it in the trap in front of the green. So you end up with a 5, 6, 7, or 8, which adds up to your score, which means it impossible to win the hole. So even if you're a great golfer who can hit the ball onto the green, Paul, would you do it, or would you take
Well,
the chance?
you're going to see some chances taken this year over other years because the one large tree that was down here has been cut down. So you got a nice opening spot there for people to land their ball if they can't make it to the green, to get close and have just a little flop shot to get into the green.
But most of the kids will hit the ball out into the fairway. The idea is it's maybe 160 yards to clear the pond, and then you've got about 20 yards of fairway. So you want to hit it somewhere between 160 and 180. You'd love to get as close to the outcropping of rocks. That's about, what, 30 yards in front of the green? The closer you can get, of course, then the shorter the shot is. That is the ideal shot. So it could be a 5-iron. It could be a hybrid club. It could be some sort of a less than driver, less than 3-wood club.
Yeah, I think you got to play this hole. There's 18 holes. This is only one. You've got to be sensible. Like you say, you don't want to try to go someplace you're not used to going and then end up with a 5, 6, or 7, because that then affects your score at the end.
Sure does. And then, Paul, the worst part of this hole in my mind is the green. Now, you'll notice as we show the green, it's a little bit pockmarked. They had some chemical issues. It's been very hot and dry. So we're talking to John Evans, the tournament director. He said that there is going to be a gentleman's agreement that if you're putting through the pockmarks, you can move the ball to an area where you won't be putting through the dead area, no closer to the hole. And that's going to be interesting to see whether kids choose to go ahead and putt through the pockmarks or move it somewhere which may or may not be more advantageous approaching the hole because of all the undulations.
Yeah, we looked at this green all morning for an hour out there. This is a tough green. Where you're going to place the ball on this green is very difficult. And going through this, moving the ball, I think some of the golfers will putt right through it.
Paul, excuse me 1 second. Cameron Hobbs, the first golfer we're going to see, is getting ready to tee off. Cameron Hobbs from Aberdeen. Again, we're going to see 6 foursomes, starting with 18. These are the top-ranked golfers, sort of in reverse order. So the top golfers are teeing off on number 13. They'll work their way 13, 14, 15, 16, and we'll see them finish up here at 18. Bob McCone, our partner, sitting near the green. You're going to be having a perfect view of the putts coming in. What do you think about this hole? You're out there putting before. What's the problem the golfers are going to face?
Undulations. This putt, almost anywhere in the green, is going to bend left, bend right, go down. The hole falls toward the ponds, and it's going to bend that way. I almost don't care where you are.
By the way, Trevor Hyde from C. Milton Wright is teeing off. We're trying to locate the ball, and that's going to be a little difficult, so it will depend upon, when they come out and place the ball down. Again, the idea is you want to be as close as 100, maybe even 75 yards if you want to take the risk of cutting that close to that outcropping, or you might be 150 yards away coming into this very narrow green, Paul. It's narrow from side to side, very, very long.
Very long.
What's it, like 20 yards long perhaps, or maybe more?
Plus.
And maybe no more than, say, 10 yards wide. So it's probably maybe 10 by 30, something like that.
I would guess that. Yeah, 10 by 30.
Pin is placed right on the crest of the first hill on this course, and you were putting, Paul, before. Depending on where you are, the putt can break left, right, go straight.
Right, and this here, a lot of putting on this hole is going to be determined on your speed. And if you're going up the hill and it's going to break and you're not prepared for it, you go too much speed, you're going to end up being 5 and 6 feet away for your next putt.
Brandon Donnelly teeing off from Patterson Mill. Nick, repeat that. What did you say? Brandon is about 115 yards from the green in the fairway, Brandon Donnelly. So he's in good shape, 115 yards, Paul. That could be a wedge, could be a 9-iron.
For most of these kids, probably a pitching wedge.
Josh Wood teeing off now. Josh is the 4th member of this foursome. Josh from Bel Air. Dick, do we know where Trevor Hyde and Cameron Hobbs' balls are? Okay, we're going to check to see Hobbs and Hyde. We know Donnelly is in the fairway. Appreciate John Evans is up on the tee, and Nick Panos is in the truck. So they're communicating and giving us an idea of who's teeing off and where the ball ends up. We appreciate their volunteerism to do that, Paul.
Yes, and dealing with Nick, I've been dealing with him for many years. What a great guy. And John and everybody, makes our job a lot easier here when we got that
Absolutely.
information.
Josh Wood, by the way, is near the pond. We're not sure if he cleared the pond, so this is their first hole. This is the hole you don't want to begin on. You'd like to start on a hole that has wide open. You can afford maybe an errant shot, but if you start on 17, the little par 3, or you start on 18, the par 4 that goes over ponds, both of them, it's just you're not warmed up yet. You're not used to. Your mind's not functioning, and then you're faced with this challenge, and it counts. It's no way you can, like Chuck Thompson said, like in baseball, they let you hit another one if you hit a foul ball. Here, if you hit a foul ball, you got to play it. So we know our first foursome: Cameron Hobbs, Trevor Hyde, Brandon Donnelly, and Josh Wood. We know that Wood is in the fairway 115 yards out.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
You spent a lot of time putting before the players came out here today. If you were coming in, where do you think is the ideal spot to put the ball?
I would like to be coming in left of the flag, left front, or middle. I wouldn't want to be on the right side, and I wouldn't want to be in the back.
Now, the putting uphill is going to be difficult because you've really got to hit the ball, and the putting downhill has to really be soft because it's really going to run downhill.
Yeah, it's all determined, Bob, on the speed. If you get too much speed and you miss that, you have to hit the hole if you're going to have too much speed. If you miss the hole, you're going to have another 5, 6, 7, 8 foot putt.
Yeah, this is not a birdie hole. I think, Paul, if you could put a par on your scorecard and walk on, you'd say, hey, that was a good hole.
I'll take that par. Even
Birdie,
a bogey sometimes.
Yeah, a bogey, a 5. I'll take a 5, yeah. Obviously, some of these golfers are going to be golfing, Paul, in the low 70s, so they'll be heading near par. By the way, Bob, they did a stent meter on this hole early this morning. It was running at about a 10, which is fairly fast. If you think about 13 maybe is where the pros play. 6 would be very slow. You had a chance to putt. Bill Bazell was telling me they may have dried out a bit, and they're not nearly as fast as they were early.
Well, possibly, but I know when you're below the hole, you've got to hit the ball quite hard to get it to the hole, and when you're above the hole, you better have a really soft touch to stop it around the hole.
Bob McCone, the third member of our threesome here. He's again right behind the green. He'll be able to judge the putts as they come in. Paul Metzger and I will be watching these young people. We're watching Cameron Hobbs, Trevor Hyde, Brandon Donnelly, and Josh Wood. That's the foursome. Wood of Bel Air, Donnelly of Patterson Mill, Hyde of C. Milton Wright, and Hobbs of Aberdeen. Oh, by the way, the defending champion is back this year, William Curvey of Falston, who shot a 74 in the district championships. He is here today, as well as the second place finisher, Mitchell Walls from Patterson Mill. Among the girls, Paula Moon shot a 78. This was all at Mountain Branch, which is a very tough golf course down in the center of the county. And this Erica Honda Deck, I'll get it correct, from Aberdeen, shot a 79, Paul. She's a freshman.
Wouldn't we like to shoot a 79?
Oh, my goodness. In my dreams, maybe. I could shoot a 79, but they'd have to let me stop at hole 10, maybe 11, depending.
Hey, that last shot, Don, is about 10 yards off the back of the hole here.
We're not sure who hit that, but Bob was ducking it, the ball just about 10 yards short, I should say long. And Bob, that's going to be a difficult chip because it's going to be downhill a little bit, so.
It is, and it's going to break to the right.
So we're not sure whose ball that is. We'll tell when they get up here to the green. Thank you, Bob, for spotting it for us. In the green, that looks like, not sure, they don't wear uniforms here, so it's a little hard for us to tell you exactly who that is. Southpaw golfer coming in from about, well, Paul, maybe 125, 130 yards?
122.
122, exactly.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Here's the shot. Let's see where he lands it. In a perfect position, Paul. Looking for the ball. Oh, what a shot. Beautiful
shot.
That ball is going to be about, what, 10 feet? That was Brandon Donnelly's shot from Patterson Mill, the young man who was 115 yards out. So he is sitting in ideal position. A little bit of a pock mark there where the ball lays, Paul. So right away we'll get a choice to see whether he decides
wants to move it or just leave it where it is.
Bob, we see two balls there. We see the one next to you and then one of Donnelly's, which is,
well, that second shot was excellent.
Yeah.
He's going to have a little left to right, and it's going downhill, so he's going to have a real nice touch on that shot.
So Donnelly's there in 2. We know the shot next to our partner Bob McCone is there in 2. We have a young man here who is just beyond the outcropping.
51 yards out.
51 yards, and that could be, that's either, well, I don't know. I want to speculate here who that is. Let's watch this shot. That's a good-looking ball, Paul. Maybe a little long. That ball will be laying 3, I believe. Paul, we have the first young man who's down below the hole. Not sure if that was his drive that he landed it there. He's got a difficult up and over that bunker. Not much room to land it either. I heard it hit.
I heard it hit too, but I don't see. Oh, here it is right here.
Oh, nice ball, yeah. It hits and trickles down maybe 20, 25 feet from the hole.
We're going to see right off the bat how difficult some of these putts are going to be because, like Bob said, the undulation of the green and then how much break you're going to get, speed, everything is going to come into play here.
Paul, you spent a lot of time putting from where that last shot was. And we know that really breaks left and then runs fast.
Yes, if you just got to get the speed so important on this shot because you just don't want to go 5 and 6 feet past the hole. You just want to get it up there. And I always say try to think there's a bushel basket up there and put it in the bushel basket. Don't try to put it in the hole.
Yeah. And that line's difficult from there.
Bob, now you're standing right next to the young man who's going to be chipping from behind the green. Do you recognize him?
You know, this shot here is going to go down and then back up. So if he play this right, he could get right up there to the flag with this one. Just don't want too much speed. That's the only thing he doesn't want here.
You'll see the golfers obviously will mark their balls.
Yeah.
We have 2 on the green and then this one just behind the green.
What a beautiful day for golf.
Unbelievable.
Gee.
It's a nice looking shot. It
That was Josh Woods from Bel Air.
That was Josh Wood from Bel Air.
I think he kind of missed that a little bit. I think he just didn't get all the ball he wanted.
He's going to be about, what, 15 feet below the hole.
Yeah, 20 feet maybe.
I don't know where the 4th ball here is. I see.
See, he was able to move his ball to the left if you saw. He took it out of the...
This looks like it might be Trevor Hyde from Seamilton Wright. Trevor will putt, and Paul, as you said, this ball is going to extremely right to left, right?
Yes.
And fast once it gets over the hill, slow until it gets there.
Nice speed. I like the speed. It's going to still going to break left quite a bit.
Yeah, the speed was perfect.
They just you have to be high on that. You have to be way high. It's almost like you think it's too high.
Hard to convince yourself.
Hard to convince yourself to go high.
He's going to have, what, maybe 5 feet to...
5, 6 feet.
I think his par.
This putt's going to go a little left to right.
This is a birdie putt here, I believe, isn't it?
I believe so. No, this is a par putt.
A par
He
putt.
was behind the hole. And you can see how fast it is once it gets by the hole. He's probably 4 or 5 feet
Where
away.
that pin placement is difficult because it's right on the crown. So past it, I don't care where you go on here. If you go past it, it's going to go past the hole. It's really...
And if you're short, obviously it's uphill and
Yeah.
it'll stop. So I think it's Josh Wood from Bel Air, putting for his par. Oh,
You see how that is?
took a little bump as it got near the hole.
Yeah.
That's not a gimme. I would take it.
No.
I'd say, is that good, Paul? You'd say, putt it.
How
I've seen
much
you
how
putt."
much we playing it for?
Now this,
This should be a birdie putt
I
here,
think
I believe.
this is the birdie putt. I
Yeah.
think this is Trevor Hyde from, well, checking though, this is Patterson Mills, Brandon Donnelly. rimmed the hole. And still it went by about 3 feet.
Yeah, he's still, it's not a gimme. If they're anywhere on there, these ones that are over on that side, that's any place you want to be. That's where that's where I think the easiest putts are, right, right where they are now. You notice,
Trevor Hyde from
you notice they
Right.
took the flag out. You know,
Which is an
today's
option.
rule, you know, you have to leave the flag in.
Nice conversion.
Okay, nice.
I think that's a 5 for Trevor Hyde. Again, not a terrible
Yeah, that's
score.
about the straightest putt on this hole.
Yeah, right here. That's if you want to have your ball anywhere, right in that area is a good place to be.
This is Josh Wood. I think this is for also a bogey. He was off the green in 2, short in 3, long in 4.
Oh,
Yeah, stayed high. That, I think, is a double bogey. I know Brandon Donnelly, and I believe this is for a
for par, yes.
Nick in the truck, we think this is for a par. Nick Panos, the veteran coach from North Hartford. Oh,
Mm.
that's one I know that Brandon Donnelly wishes he would have back, so he ends up with a bogey as well. Now here's Josh Wood. No, check it. This is Cameron Hobbs from Aberdeen, I believe. Nice conversion. Not sure of the score.
Well, I know he was happy to make that putt.
Yeah. Bob, maybe if you could check with them as they come off, see what each of the players got,
Their scores.
their scores as they come by.
Can you hear me, Bob?
Our partner Bob McCone is going to ask what their scores are as they come off the green.
1, 4, 3, 5. 2 5s and a 6 look like.
Bob, what you get?
Okay, Trevor Held from C. Milton had a 4. Josh Woods from Bel Air had a 6. And Cameron Hobbs and Brandon Donnelly both had 5s.
Okay, so we had a par. Trevor Hyde from C. Milton had the par. Cameron Hobbs and Brandon Donnelly had bogeys, and then Josh Wood had the double bogey. Our second group now teeing off on hole 17. Dylan McQuarrie will be teeing up, and the kids will wait until this green clears before they tee off, because there's always a possibility, Paul, that someone would
Someone's
try
to
go
go
to
take
the
the
green.
shortcut. And
These young people started on hole 17, and maybe John Evans up there can tell us how they did on 17. That's that par 3. It's about 100 yards, Paul, over water. I'll brag and say it's my only hole-in-one in my entire life. I got out here with Dave Graybeal, my nephew, and Bob was with us, but it was raining, so Bob, being the cautious guy he is, went in, so he didn't get to see
he
it.
couldn't verify it.
He couldn't verify it.
Dave's the only one that could verify it,
And
right?
Dave would lie for me. He
Yes,
would.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Dave, if he was playing here today, he'd be taking the shortcut.
Okay, Dylan McQuarrie landed the ball in the pond. I think might be able to see the ripple still where the ball went in. And I'm not sure, John may be able to tell us, do they have to take the ball back across the pond, or do they get relief on this side? Evan Kays is hitting. He is 1 over par, so he had a bogey on number 17. I'm trying to find a ruling on if you hit into the pond, is there a drop area on this side of the pond, or do they have to take it back behind the pond? Drop area is on this side of the pond, so that's a break. You're hitting 3, yeah, but you don't have to go back, across the pond and hit it again. So you still have a possibility of bogeying if you could hit it on 1 putt. So there's another in the pond that skip, and it doesn't get out, unfortunately. I've been there.
Now, what's the yardage they're hitting from to get over that pond?
It's got to be about 170 to clear the pond.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, something in the 165, 170 range.
Okay.
But again, as I say, the fairway is fairly narrow. Max DeLuca now hitting the ball from Hartford Tech. We've had 2 in the pond already. And now a third in the pond. This time it's in the pond to the right. So there are 2 ponds, one to the golfer's right and one to the golfer's left. This one is in the pond on the near side of the causeway. So 3 shots and 3 in the pond. And Paul, these are the best golfers in the county, among the best golfers. So
Yeah. Speaking of best golfers, many of these golfers are going to the state tournament, and many of them have already qualified.
2 teams, C. Milton Wright qualifying in the 4A, and then 2 more teams qualifying in the 2A, 3A. And here's Sophia Fellner. Is Sophia Fellner the first young lady we've seen? This is a co-ed event. She's 1 over par. Sophia from Falston. Let's see if she can get it in play, unlike her 3 playing partners. Sophia Fellner will be at the state tournament, I'm told, with the Falston team.
Yeah, C. Millwright, Falston, and Patterson Mills, the 3 teams. And we had 2 individuals that also qualified.
We're told that she shot an 88 at the district qualifier to qualify to go to the state playoffs, the state championships. I think that's at the University of Maryland in about 2 weeks. So we're waiting to see where Sophia Fellner's ball ends up. Nick, help me another second. I think she's hitting from the ladies' tee. Yeah, so she does get a break in that the ladies' tee is down the hill, so then the shot is probably not more than 120 yards over the pond. We are again on hole number 18, this 18-hole layout through the rolling hills of North Hartford. This pond was, Paul being a farmer, you'll know this was Jack Davis's farm pond that he used for all of his watering and irrigation. And they just simply converted it into I'm going to say a devilish shot. Not only affects here, but at hole number 10, there's a little arm of it that goes in front of the green at hole number 10, which becomes a real challenge to get the ball over that little arm. I seem to, it's like a magnet to my ball. I seem to be able to hit that little neck.
Seems like our balls can always find the water somehow, or the sand trap.
They're like magnets. We're told that Sophia Fellner hit the ball right in the middle of the fairway. So of the 4 golfers, Fellner seems to be the only one that'll be hitting 2.
Do they all have the same drop area, or is it the area where they go in?
Nick, I think it's the same drop area.
Hey, Don, this
For
is
males
Bob.
and
There is
females.
a drop area right on the other side of the bridge.
Just on the other side of the footbridge, Bob tells us, is the drop area. We'll see where they do drop it. And it is, Nick, it's the same drop area for men and women, and regardless of which pond they go in?
I'm sorry, Don, it's down further toward the water,
Okay.
coming off the path where they're coming down.
So it would be about 140 yards out for the second shot. And again, they would be shooting the 3rd shot, 1 in, 1 out, and then the 3rd shot after the penalty. So Fellner, who is 1 over, Kays, who is 1 over, McGuire, and Kays, and DeLuca, I should say, from Harper Tech. So Max DeLuca, Harper Tech, Evan Kays from Falston, Sophia Fellner from Falston, and Dylan McGuire from Bel Air. Our second group of foursome. Dylan, our audio man, comes by. And Dylan, how about this weather, huh? Great weather. And again, Paul, the wind now is picking up just a little bit. Still not a factor, I don't think.
Just a little left to right, coming across up the hill here a little bit right. It's not
Flag
much
to-
to affect it yet.
Yeah, the flag is just laying a lip
Yeah.
there.
And we're up a little higher.
Mhm.
That makes a difference.
Beautiful location here. And Paul, I'm happy to say you're on the golfer's side, so if they hit into us, you get hit. I'll be ducking behind you, just in case you're wondering. It's called taking one for the team.
The drop area over is 160.
160, 160. And it's you got a little bit of
got-
problem with that pine.
You got that pine tree, the bottom limbs are sticking out through it.
So you got to get it up quickly and then carry it 160 yards.
And 160 yard, pretty good stroke for your second shot, and of course how important the second shot is.
And this is their third shot.
Yeah, this is their third.
Yeah.
And I always say the most important shot in golf is the second shot.
Evan Kays will be hitting out of the drop area. Evan, who came into this hole 1 over.
There's also a slight rise coming into the green.
You're talking about before the green, Bob?
Yes.
So you have to carry that rise. You can't hit it short and roll it on, even though it's very hard out here since we haven't had a lot of rain. Here's Kays now. Paul probably hitting a 5-iron perhaps.
5 or 6. Some of them are using hybrids.
Pull to the left, we're told. I think I see the ball down maybe 20, 30 yards off to the left-hand side. The ball will be laying 3, hitting 4. Here's Dylan McGuire. Dylan from Bel Air High School. Hitting his third shot. 153 yards.
That's for
Fellner, I should say. She's the one who's hitting her second shot, so the only one that cleared. Obviously, she would like to be closer to the lockout cropping. Makes her shot too. Here's Max DeLuca now to be hitting from Hartford Tech. All these 3 young men hit the ball in the water, so they're hitting 3. 1 in, 1 penalty, and then the third shot. We heard it hit
It was short right.
short right, we're told. Bob, short to our right or to their
the
right?
golfer's right over here.
To the golfer's right. Okay, so near the tree line here behind where we are. Here's Felder now. Again, remember she's hitting her second shot. Sophia Fellner out of Falston High School. 1 over after 1.
She backed off there.
backed
She
off,
just
yeah.
wasn't. That's something hard for golfers to do when you're not ready to back off, and some of golfers just go ahead and go through with it.
Yeah.
That's a good move.
That's just short. That might be in the trap. I saw it trickle up short to the left. Again, for good trap players, that's not a terrible thing. It's maybe even a little worse to be behind the trap. That way you have to hit it over the trap and stop it short. Here you can blast out, Paul. Should be able to get the ball up high. So Fellner's in the trap in 2. The other players will locate where they are when they come up to address their
Some of
their
your real
fourth
good,
shot.
some of your real good golfers love to be in the trap because it's very consistent.
Mhm.
Where you get out in the grass and maybe taller or shorter and everything, the sand is always consistent.
Paul, I would not want to be in this upper trap that's closer to
No.
us. It's flat and it's above the hole. And there's just no way you can blast it out and keep it short because everything's downhill from you.
Remember last year that we saw a great shot out of the sand on this side.
We did.
I can't remember the young lady's name, but had a beautiful shot out
Yeah.
of the trap here.
Almost one that you might even putt out of or
Yeah,
and just try to push the ball somehow out of it. So here come the
that's a
golfers.
good. That's a good thought there, Don.
This is Dylan McGuire who's hitting his 4th shot. You can see it's just beyond the rock outcropping. Paul, what, maybe 30 yards out?
70.
70, wow.
Yeah.
High shot. I think it's going to be short. Yeah, comes up a little short, so he'll be laying 4 there. Here's Evan Kays now. Evan is on near the far pond, or the near pond actually. Hitting it, he's got to loft it up over that maple tree.
There he is on the green.
Good shot.
Lower shot.
That's a great shot. Kays is on in, let's see, he's in the pond. So he's on in 4. So putting for his bogey, that would be a great bogey.
Going to be a difficult shot from down there.
So here comes Sophia Fellner. Again, shot an 88 in the district tournament, qualifying for the state
Can't tell whether
tournament.
she's in the trap or, oh yeah, yes she is.
Now she's going to get just
in
about
there.
10 high.
Yeah.
She's going to back off because the other golfers.
No, I think she's just checking the
Sophia.
green out and everything, where she wants the ball to land.
Yeah. Sophia's a senior, we're told, at Boston High School. The golfers lament. Sand goes up, ball does not.
Yeah.
So she's now lying 3, hitting 4. McQuarrie with a nice shot. Goes about, what, 6 feet, 7 feet past the hole?
Yeah, 7 feet.
Bob, that should be, as putts go in this hole, maybe one of the easier ones. Here's Max DeLuca from Harper Tech. It's going to come up short. Now here is Sophia Fellner from Boston hitting her 4th.
Good.
Yeah, she's out. Below the hole, and now you can see it slopes away and comes back to maybe, what, Paul, about 15 feet?
15 feet, and it's going to be a difficult putt because it's going to go right toward the hole. Then too much speed, it'll go left, and she's going to be put her 5 more feet away from it.
Bob Fellner is there in an area that you putted from this morning. What's that putt going to do?
That first putt, Don, is going to start out left, and then it's going to come to the hole, and right at the hole, it'll break right.
Okay, you're talking about the far putt. I got you.
Yes, I'm talking about the
Yeah.
far putt.
Yeah, that is a strange putt. Paul, you were hitting it this morning. It looked like it had a double break and ended up being almost straight.
Almost straight, and it's all about speed again. I hate to keep bringing that word up on this hole, but the speed is so important on these putts, and too much speed just complicates the hole even more for you.
Again, we talked about on the stent meter a 10. Not sure why he's putting first.
I'm not sure either.
As you notice, leaving the pin in, which is his option. Ready golf, we're told.
And
If you're ready to hit, go ahead. Lifts the cup and stays out.
and sometimes if a person wants to leave it in and the rest of them don't, they want that person to go on ahead and putt,
That's a
so
good
they don't
point.
have to bring the flag in, put it back out, bring it back in.
This is
That's
Evan
the
Kay's.
second putt that hit the hole like that from
Yeah.
almost the same spot and bounced right.
This is Evan Kay's, Bob, the putt you were talking about that's uphill. And then it sort of flattens out and goes downhill at the cup.
Goes left, yeah.
Not quite enough speed to get up that hill.
Yep.
That's what my partner Paul was talking about. The speed so important. You have to hit it hard enough to get to the hole, but once it gets to the hole, it slopes away. You can end up being 10, 12 feet by. Now, DeLuca, he could take a lesson perhaps from
Yeah,
Case.
so I was just going to say, he should have got a little bit of a read there, knowing that you just don't want to pick up too much for a read and hit it too hard. I
Yeah.
know.
Max DeLuca from Hartford Technical
This
High
putt's
School.
going to be about as straight as you could make it.
Nice putt.
That was a great putt. And I think that is a par. Nick, I mean a bogey, Nick, is that correct? We're thinking that was a bogey.
This is going to be a bit right to left.
This is Sophia Fellner from Falston High School. We'll try to identify these golfers for you as they come. Unfortunately, they don't wear school colors.
I wish they would wear the school
That would
colors.
be helpful.
It'd be really helpful.
That was for her 5, Fellner, so she will, if she taps this in, she'll have her 6. Unfortunate because she was right beside the hole in the trap in 2. And Paul, we've all been there and done that. Oh, my. It comes back at her and she ends up with a 7. Ah, those are the ones that
difficult hole, yeah.
You go home talking to yourself about that one. This is Evan Kays of Falston. So slides by. I think this might be for his double bogey. So Sophia was the only one not in the pond, and she ends up with a 7. This is McGuire. Nick, is that correct? That's McGuire? And Bob McComb will ask the scores they had as they leave the green. Appreciate that, Bob. Thank you. So now we go to the group that started on hole 16. John Harrison, Colby Taylor, Jack Emmett, and Jake Gay, I should say.
We've seen 2 groups go through here, and we've already seen the challenges it's going to be with this putting. And I think the challenge is going to be here all day.
Yep.
You're going to, when you par this hole, you've had a great hole here.
And that's Trevor Hyde, the only one who's parred, and that was the first group that went through.
So.
Again, the group now started. Jake Gay from North Harvard +3. Remember, he's now played 2 holes, so he's played 16 and 17, so he's 3 over par after playing 2 holes. Jake Gay of North Harvard. So happy you could tune in with us. Wish you were here, right, Paul?
Yes.
We're streaming live here, so there are folks out there watching this as we play.
It's not too late. Well, it is going to be too late by the time this goes on.
Yeah.
But I was going to say it's not too late to come out here today and just watch these young kids play.
If you're streaming live, watching it on live stream, you can come out. Yeah. Very exciting, the Harvard.
Okay, Don.
Yes.
All right, Don.
Please.
Max DeLuca had a 5 on the hole,
Need to be cut away from.
and he's +3 for the 2 holes.
So DeLuca 5, he's +3 now.
Evan Keys from Falston had a 7 on this hole, and he's +3. Sophia Fellner had a 7, she's +4. Dylan McQuarrie had a 7, and he's +3.
So this hole exacted some trouble for these golfers. Jake Gay, by the way, thankfully for him, in the middle of the fairway. So first tee off person on who started on hole 16. Here's John Harrison from Patterson Mill teeing off.
Hey Don, as we expected, this hole was playing havoc on the putting at this point.
Oh, it has.
Yeah, I think there's only been 1 putt on this hole.
Harrison right down the middle, in the middle of the fairway. So Harrison and Gay have hit the ball and in good shape.
Even the par that we had was a 2-putt par.
Yeah. Colby Taylor now from Hartford Tech. We really appreciate the efforts of John Evans at the tee, and Nick Panos in the truck helping us identify these golfers.
So we've had 1 par on the first 2 groups.
Yeah, that's correct.
I think as you get closer to the next 3 or 4 groups, you might have some in those groups taking the challenge and coming across for the shortcut.
We're told that John Harrison's drive went in the pond. I'd like to have a concession. Jack Emmett is getting ready to hit. A concession with all the balls in the pond?
You can
Yeah.
come out after in the dark and get them.
Ah,
I got a scuba equipment here
don't know
for
how
you to
deep
get
the
them.
pond is, but you know, I think, yeah, I could make some, I could probably find about 100 of my balls in there over the years. It's a depository.
I see Nick over there laughing.
Oh, Nick Panos, one of the...
Nick's laughing because he knows he has a few in there
No,
himself.
he does not. Nick is a professional. I would say that he has no balls ever
In the pond.
in the pond. Colby Taylor, Nick,
Yeah, I was
in the left rough. So we have 2 in good shape, actually 3 in good shape, and 1 in the pond. Again, this is the 3rd group. We will do a total of 6 groups, and Paul, as you indicated, they'll go from the very good golfers to the extremely good golfers. So they are ranked or seeded by their ability. So the last group we will see is the group that, at least in the pre-game analysis, are the best golfers, the ones who qualify at the best rate. Of course, golf, Paul, as you know, the low score wins. So I say just stay at home and you're the automatic winner.
Got a live score, yes.
Yeah. I can only think of one other sport. That's cross country, where low score
Low
wins.
score wins.
Yeah. So it doesn't make sense. So you pay a lot of money to play golf, and you want to hit as few balls as you can. Yeah. Kind of a weird thing there about this game.
Why are we having golf carts?
Not sure. These may be the coaches. Coaches are out on the
Coaches
course.
and parents, maybe.
Yeah. John Harrison, Colby Taylor, Jack Emmett, and Jake Gay. Harrison from Patterson Mill, Taylor from Hartford Tech, Emmett from Falston, and Gay from North Hartford. Paul, I think it was in the 40s this morning, around about 6 o'clock. You know, it's warmed up now quickly, and we're probably as high as it's going to get, maybe in the 60s.
It might be close to 70. Little breeze here. The breeze nice.
It may well be that rain that's coming in tomorrow, this may be the lead breeze that's introducing the rain, which we desperately need.
We desperately need it. Maybe the last real warm day of the year.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure to be here. I think in the years we've been coming, we've been so fortunate to have great weather almost every year. Bill Buzzell told me that he orders it that way for us every year, and I said thank you very much. We appreciate it. Nick,
I don't know if there's a set of golfers underneath the tree there or not.
Yeah, somebody pulled it in the left rough, so that may be.
Yeah, maybe where they are.
Nick, this is Colby Taylor, I think, from Hartford Tech. Colby Taylor hit the ball in the water. He has that drop
160, 160 yards out.
to the pin. Again, remember, he's hitting 3 because he had to take the penalty stroke for being in the pond.
I mean, he does have that pine tree a little bit there on his left that he's got to get over.
Yeah, if nothing else, it's distracting
Yeah.
to your eye. Takes a nice little short swing, almost a punch swing.
There it is, right up on the edge of the green. He's on the green.
Nice shot. It, Bob, you talked about that little rise before you get to the green. That's what it hit and took the speed off.
That's a very, very good spot to be. That putt's, it's going to go a little bit right to left, but it's going to be pretty much right straight.
And that would be his par putt if he's on in 3 as a result of that hitting in the pond. So Harrison, John Harrison from Patterson Mill, he's out of the view of us here in the commentating booth, but I think you can see him from our camera that's in the fairway. John Harrison from Patterson Mill.
124. You saw him lay his, I believe I thought I saw him lay his club down off of the cart path because he's allowed to have a club length to move in if his ball is too. Here's the ball right here, just landed.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Here's the shot coming, as you said, Paul just
This
moved
came
to-
over here.
Yeah, I believe that was Harrison who hit the ball.
It's long.
Bob McCone is over there ducking golf balls. Bob, they're aiming at you. So we have one long, one on.
Two, one
One just-
almost
yeah,
on, just
just
on
on
the
the fringe.
edge of the fringe there.
That's the good news. The bad news is that putt is going to be one that I'd rather, Paul, you have than me.
This one on the back here, Don, is on a side hill, downhill lie.
And here comes Jake Gay hitting his second. Jake, legal here, has a viewfinder that they can be used. You can't do it in the pros, but you
He's
can.
83 yards there.
Perfect. I mean, you couldn't have come and lay the ball any better than where he is in terms of the second shot. Jake Gay from North Hartford, +3 after 2 holes.
Ooh, right past here, right past the flag.
Yeah.
About 20 feet away.
Yeah. I saw Jake a little bit, maybe not happy with his shot, but
It sort of seemed like to me that he wasn't happy with it.
I'd take it.
Yeah.
On the
That's a
green.
pretty good spot right there for that last one.
Absolutely. Bob, I don't know if you saw his reaction, Jake Gay, when he hit the ball. It looked like he was disgusted with the swing. I think we'd take it, you know.
Now, he's not on the green here, so he probably won't be allowed to move his ball
Oh, that's good. That's a good point.
because of the.
Yeah. He'll be hitting through that pock
Yes,
mark. That
I would think he would. I don't think he'd be allowed to move his ball.
I think you're right. If you're just tuning in, there is a chemical burn on the green that extends about 10, 12 feet just to the right of the hole.
Don, this is Jack Emmett from Falston.
Yeah, thank you, Jack Emmett, who is long. Bob, that's a difficult shot. Is he going to try to flop it up or punch it? We'll watch.
You want to be way short of the flag here. Let it roll up.
Looks like a good shot.
He did a nice job. Beautiful job.
That is, go in the hole. My goodness. Let's give him
That was
a
an
Beautiful
outstanding
shot,
shot
Jake.
from there.
That was excellent. I think he was in the pond, so he may be laying 4, looking to salvage his bogey.
I think Nick liked that shot.
What do you think, Nick? That's just like you taught him, right? Jack Emmett from Falston. Take credit, Nick. It's a, I know you coached North Hartford, but you probably taught him that shot. No, Nick says no.
That's a no. Perfect build for a golfer.
Yeah. Tall, lean.
Young
All
man
lean.
from Patterson Mill is in front of you on the edge,
Yeah,
like you guys.
John Harrison. And like you said, Paul, it looks like he's not going to be able to move the ball. Getting some hints from his coach about
It's interesting, the coaching. I like it that the coaches can come out and coach and help him. Don't put the kid out there all by himself. Let him have someone he can mentor and get him through the play.
he's got his putter, Paul.
Yep, that's what I would have.
Took very little time with it. That's not bad.
He's in a good area for his next putt.
Not bad at all. Well, I like also he didn't take a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah.
He got his mind straight what he wanted to do and just went ahead and hit the ball.
But sometimes you can think too much and
Absolutely.
overthink the shot.
Of course, it is a game of strategy. You have to think what you're doing in terms of where the ball is going to go.
Okay, this one here now, this is a lot about speed
Colby
here.
Taylor from Hartford Tech.
Colby Taylor.
This shot here is it's going to go left or right. How much it goes depends on the speed, but you got to get it up over the ridge,
And then not too far to get down
not too
the
far
next
so
ridge.
it doesn't go down the next one.
That looks like a good
Nice
speed.
putt, yeah, nice putt.
Maybe 3-4 feet short.
Yeah, he's in a good spot.
Unfortunately, we've seen a couple putts that rimmed the cup, one that went in, came back. This is Jake Gay from North Hartford. I think he's putting for a
This
birdie
putt
here.
is left to right.
And it went left to right, Bob. I think that was his birdie putt. I think he was on in two. Now John Harrison from Patterson Mill. Remember, he was in the pond. I think this is for bogey. Slides by.
We've seen a few of those slide by today.
Jake Gay of North Hartford. I do believe this is for his par. Nick, is that correct? Looks like for his par. Yes. Gay gets it in. I know Nick Pano says North Hartford's coach enjoyed that one.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Just like you taught him, Nick. Take credit. Bob, I think this is Colby Taylor of Hartford Tech. Is that correct? Puts it right in. Bob will get the scores here as they come off the green. Jake Emmett of Falston. Remember, Jake made that great shot from behind the green. Right in. I think for Jake, I think that is his bogey. I should say for Jack. Now we know Jake Gay had a par on that hole. Came in at 3 over, and that's where he'll stay as he leaves number 18.
You know, that group there was best putting foursome we've had so far.
Absolutely. Bob McCone getting the scores as they exit. Moving up now to our fourth group. This group started on hole 15. Michael Corona, Boston, Austin Bach of North Hartford, Connor Phantom of C. Milton Wright, and Sam Kim of Bel Air.
Okay, Don.
Yes.
We've had, on this hole, we had 2 pars. Jack Emmett from Falston had a 4. Jake Gay from North Hartford had a 4. We also had 2 5s. Colby Taylor had a 5, and John Harrison had a 5. John Harrison is +1 after 3. Colby Taylor is +3 after 3. Jack Emmett is +1 after 3, and Jake Gay is +3 after 3.
Yeah, I am. I was listening to Bob. Nick, yeah. Okay, now we're ready to tee off with this group, the fourth group that we have teeing off today. And again, we gave you their names. We'll repeat that. Nick, who has teed off so far? Yeah, Falston's Michael Corona teed off, and Nick, I guess, is he in the fairway? Connor Phantom is just +1 after this is after 3 holes. Now playing his 4th hole. Connor Phantom from C. Milton Wright. Michael Corona, the first to tee off from Falston.
He's at
Okay, Nick, was that Connor Phantom? And here's Sam Kim from Bel Air coming in at +2. Phantom, we know, is in the rough to the right. Right in the middle of the fairway, that is for Mr. Kim exactly where you want to be.
My sunshade just fell off. I need a minute.
John Evans Paul, who came up from his home in Florida, recently moved to Florida just for this tournament.
Just for this tournament.
I think
What a
that's,
dedicated.
he is, yeah. C. Milton Wright, for many, many years, the coach at C. Milton. He and his wife have now retired, living near Daytona Beach, he tells me, over on the east coast of Florida.
Yeah, I know that area well.
Said he's looking forward to the winter for the first time in his life, not to endure the trials and tribulations of Maryland winters. You know all about that.
Yes, maybe in 2 weeks I'll be going.
Well, yeah, I'll be staying.
Yeah. I'll think about you.
Oh, thank you.
When I'm on the golf course and
Thank you.
there's 3 feet of snow up here.
Thank you. And I'll be shoveling snow and cleaning the driveways of my neighbors. Yeah, thank you. Bob McCone, who
Somebody has to do it, Don.
He
and
does,
I
yeah.
was just picked. You
Yeah.
were picked to shovel the
I know,
snow, and
yeah.
I was picked to.
and I'm happy to do it. I want to keep the snow blowing people in business, and I do. Bob McCone, who spends his winters down on the shore. I like these retired people that just live a life of luxury, huh?
Yes.
You earned it, Bob. You earned it, Paul. Well, here comes
No.
the foursome.
We have 2 in this foursome. It's already qualified for the state.
Yeah.
With Phantom and Corona.
And as Paul explained, the way they do that is you qualify as a team, and then if you have a certain score, you qualify individually. So Erica Honnadale, I should say, from Aberdeen, the freshman, and Zach Wilcox from North Hartford qualified on their own. And then Michael Cummings, Connor Phantom, Trevor Hyde, and Nicole Butterworth from C. Milton Wright. Boston's William Creary, Michael Corona, Jack Emmett, and Sophia Fellner. And then from Patterson Mill, Mitchell Walls, Paula Moon, Samuel Sapp, and John Harrison. Nick, it looks like we may have the North Hartford golfer Austin Bach, who's going to be off here to the left.
He must have taken the shortcut.
Yeah, to the left of the green. So, Nick, do you think he drove that purposely, trying to reach the green? Nick Panos is saying that he's sure that Austin tried to cut the corner. And again, it's a risk-reward because, yeah, you're close to the hole, Paul, but you've got to lift it up over that trap. And we saw what happened to Sophia Fellner when she left it short in the trap and then took 2 to get out. Ended up with a 7.
So you asked yourself the question, Don, would you want to be 150 out or would you want to be 35 yards out?
It depends on the angle and what you have to accomplish. This shot
Yeah.
is the 150 is
Driving
much
in, but-
easier, I think, because you've got a wide open green to hit to. Now for Austin, he's also got that tree that he's got to loft it up over. This is Corona from Falston getting ready to hit from about
146.
About 146. Nice easy swing.
Swing. I like this swing too.
Came up
Here it
on
is
the
right
green.
here.
Yeah.
You're on the green. Nice shot. We're coming up here on the left side here now.
Phantom hit into the pond, you're saying, Nick, and he'll have to take a drop. Hit into the parking lot. Wow. On his second shot, Phantom hit it into the parking lot.
There.
That's a nice shot. It stays up high.
I thought
in
I
the
saw
sun.
the ball hit the tree here.
Yeah.
When I saw stuff falling out of the tree. They were after you, Don,
I
not
know,
me.
yeah. I have my hat on so they can't get my bald head to shoot at. I don't understand that. Notice how the commentator always puts his partner next to the danger area.
It takes care of him.
Yeah. Now here's the shot by Austin Bach.
It's about a 40-yard shot.
Up and over that tree.
Yeah, he's nice little flop. He's probably a 64 degrees club. He has it too, doesn't he? He
Oh,
got
nice
on.
shot.
Nice shot.
Good news, he's on. It did not stop, so he's got a downhill putt. But hey, I'd take it there in two. So Austin Bach on the green in two.
The one putt that's up the top to your guy's right is going to be very, very fast. Break right to left. No, I'm sorry, left to right. The
Right.
putt that's right in front of you guys up on the top is going to go down and break right to left, and it's going to be very fast. And then the one that's on the green, onto your left, that's going to be a right to left, but only a little bit. And if you miss it that way, it'll really run down toward the lake.
Connor Phantom now hit it into the parking lot, and I may be vacating my position here. I don't know where he's going to drop. That's going to cost him a stroke.
The ball's right here behind us. So
We're told he's going to be able to play the ball over top of our heads. Just not a comfortable spot for me to be in, quite honestly. Paul is stationed to protect me. Good job, Paul.
here he comes. Over it. It's going to go right down. Must have went. Oh, there he is on the green.
Oh, what a shot.
Beautiful shot.
Let's give this young man a hand.
Man, my goodness.
Connor Phantom.
He only had 2 or 3 bushes and trees and everything else he had to hit over, and
And us.
a sand trap,
And us.
and still land on the green.
So I'm going to thank Connor for not bouncing one off my head to begin with. Okay, now here comes this putt that Bob was talking about. He does a little chip. Oh, that's brilliantly done.
He's in the right area for his first putt.
I think, is that Sam Kim from Bel Air? Nick, was that Sam Kim? Sam Kim, who made that nice little chip shot.
Going to go right to left here with the right speed.
Michael Corona from Falston.
Nice speed, nice speed.
Oh, that's a beautiful play.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
There's that peach
From
basket
that area, yep,
you were
that's a
talking about.
peach basket, right?
Now it's just a little tap in. Austin Bach from North Hartford. Austin's there in two.
He had that nice little lob wedge shot over the tree.
He did.
Put it right on the green there.
Great skill. That is not an easy shot.
Probably one of the hardest clubs in your bag is the 60 degree lob wedge. It's going to go right on him.
He hit that little area that's chemically scarred, and it did bounce a little bit to his right. So not sure if that was exactly what caused it, or he just mishit a little bit.
This is for
slow
a
down
par.
a little bit going uphill.
Yeah, this putt here's for a par, and he was out in the parking lot almost.
Wow. This is Connor Phantom.
Oh,
It would not come
Nice.
back.
I'll tell you what, if you'd have told him when he was down there that he'd take a bogey, he'd have taken it
I'd
and
say
gone home.
Put it right in my scorecard.
Yeah, put it on the scorecard, let me go.
Sam Kim of Bel Air. Going to be short. I'm told that putts that are short, Paul, there's a 99% chance they won't go in.
Yeah, Yogi says it's 85, but
Unless there's a puff of wind that comes along.
yeah.
Or you're Bob Williams,
Uh,
where you have just good fortune in your bag.
back door.
Oh. This is Austin Bach. Get there. Heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's something how that little 2-inch stroke putt counts just as much as that 20-foot putt.
Or the drive.
Drive, the 250-yard drive.
Yeah.
That's it.
Players finishing up here on the 18th. Michael Corona, Austin Bach, Connor Phantom, and Sam Kim. And near the Connors end with a bogey. That's the young man who hit from behind
Yeah.
us.
Good job, man.
Very good job. Bob McComb will sort it out for us and let you know what these young men did on the hole, and also what their score is as they have now played 4 holes. Paul, we're going to our second to last group that we'll be taping today. Josh Brethauer from Bel Air, Erica Honadale from Aberdeen, young lady we've been talking about who's qualified for the state tournament, Tim Kaskowski from Hartford Tech, and Mitchell Walls from Patterson Mill. That'll leave us Will Creary from Falston, Zach Wilson, Paula Moon, Michael Cummings as our top-rated group, which started on hole 13.
Mitchell Waltz also, he's qualified for the state. Or his team has.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, 2 teams have qualified. Actually, 3 teams
Three
have.
teams.
One in the 3A, 4A. That's C. Milton Wright, Michael Cummings, Connor Phantom, Trevor Hyde, and Nicole Butterworth. Falston also in the 1A, 2A. William Creary, Michael Corona, Jack Emmett, and Sophia Fellner. You've seen all those golfers. Patterson Mill also in the 1A, 2A. Mitchell Walls, Paula Moon, Samuel Sapp, and John Harrison. And then Erica Honendale from Aberdeen, Zach Wilcox from North Hartford. Erica Honendale, a freshman from Aberdeen High School.
Don, when you're ready for the scores.
Yes, I am, please.
Okay, Michael Corona from Falston had a 4, and he's even for 4 holes.
Wow.
Austin Bach had, the rest had 5s, and Austin Bach is +4, Connor Phantom is +2, and Sam Kim is +3.
So Michael Corona is again even after 4 holes. So right now he would be the leader in terms of the ones that we have seen.
Senior.
So par and 3 bogeys. Nick, I think you told me somebody was teeing off. Josh Brethauer's through the fairway, which means he's again could be blocked by these trees on the right-hand side. He is at +1. Paul, when this course was built, there were no trees here. This was an open field. So think about 30 years what's happened, that the trees that were just little tiny things now have become large trees, obviously. Tim Kaskowski from Hartford Tech teeing off now. I'm going to ask Dylan to come out. I think Bob McCone's having a little trouble with his hearing on one of the microphones. Dylan, if you're available, please. To the right side of the fairway, the shot by Kaskowski from Hartford Tech. So he's in good shape. Both Brethauer and Kaskowski safely out on this their original shot, their drive. Mitchell Walls from Patterson Mill is +3. He's teeing it up right now.
Michael Corona at Falston there in the last, we had in the last group, even after 4 holes, that's playing pretty good golf. starting out like that.
Absolutely. Tim Kaskowski about 115 yards out. So far we have 3 golfers that are in prime position. And Paul, you said it. Check it, that was Mitchell Walls from Patterson Mill. You said it, that as the golfers come through, they get better and better in terms of their qualifying. So if we're going to see a birdie, you know, we're going to see
Next
it
couple holes,
next
next couple groups here.
Yep. Erica Honendale is +5. No, she's not going to be real happy with that.
Yeah, you want to. It's amazing what some of these kids that have come up in the golf program when they first started. They've never seen a golf club, and how much some of them have really improved. And we've seen it with some of the kids here, how much they've improved since last year. And
Absolutely.
things. And you have to give a credit to the coaches, because that's where these kids, you know. I started playing golf and I never went and got any instructions. And if I was going to play again and start, I'd recommend for people to go and get instructions first, so they learn how to swing the club and how to do certain things.
Absolutely.
And not just go out on your own with a bunch of guys and start hitting the ball.
Yeah, being baseball players, like a lot of us were, you end up taking the baseball swing, and you know, you never really master the techniques of golf.
Golf. I always wanted to hit home runs with the golf club.
Nick, who was that? Erica Honendale is over the pond safely, so I think all 4 of these golfers are in good position. Again, Nick Panos is giving us, through John Evans, being able to tell us exactly who's teeing off and where the ball is. We appreciate that.
That's a nice step up from last year.
Yeah. Bob McCone patrolling the back of the golf course, and now I think Dylan has successfully cured our sound issues. Bob, how you doing over there?
Doing great right now.
Again, we are at Geneva Farm Golf Course.
So
30th year, Paul. 30 years.
30 years.
I can't believe it. It
Yeah.
seems like yesterday that Jack Davis and I were out there looking at in the middle of this cornfield. And here we are 30 years later. Trees are grown.
How old is the golf program in Hartford County?
You know, it's a good question. Jack, I should say, Al Seski began the golf program, so it would be mid-70s.
Mid-70s.
Yeah. We were talking the other day about the late great Al Seski, how a lot of the sports that we have and we take for granted, lacrosse, golf, swimming, girls sports especially, that he had a hand in beginning. Jack McCracken came along afterwards, and our good friend Forrest Wiest, whom we saw the other day, Paul, leaders, and now Debbie Bossler, who is our great friend from Edgewood High School, leading the county intramural as well as interscholastic sports. Yeah. So all these people have just done it. And I almost forgot, Bob, help me, who am I forgetting from athletic directors in the county? Just retired.
Ken Zorbach.
Ken Zorbach. Thank you. How can I forget Kenny? This looks like it's Patterson Mill. Yeah, that's Mitchell Walls hitting the ball. Right on the green, Paul, just about, what, 12, 15 feet below the hole? Great shot by Walls.
That was about 135 yards out on that shot.
By the way, Mitchell Walls came in second in the district tournament at Mountain Branch. He had a 76, Paul, at Mountain Branch. Mountain Branch, if you've played that course, not an easy course at all. Mitchell is at +3 now after 4 holes.
I'm surprised when you said how many years it's been. We never had a public golf course in Hartford County.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many years is that?
Well, until 1990, when this course opened, and wetlands opened, you know, it became public. We had private courses that if you knew someone, you could play. Maryland Golf and Country Club, Winter's Run.
Was Beech Tree, was that a private or?
Beech Tree was a semi-private.
Semi-private.
Yep. It came along after, of course, and has since closed up, as did Bully Rock. Ruggles, of course, was an Army course that, depending on the time, you could play or not play. Wetlands, Paul, and here, Geneva, opened about the same time.
We have a couple of golfers here on the left side down here.
Blocked a little bit by Nick. We're not sure who that is. It's Josh Bretthauer and Tim Kaskowski, I believe. Well, they're about 100 and maybe 20, 30 yards out.
The furthest golfer is probably 120. The closer golfer is about 110, 105.
Now, whether they're blocked by these trees, again, I remind folks that in the day when Jack Davis planned this course, there were no trees on the course at all.
Okay, he must have been under a tree because he played it out into the middle.
Yeah.
So now this, we're coming up with this shot here. This is going to be about 105, 107 yards out.
An ideal location, really.
Yes, that's where you want to come in from.
The drive here is so important. Obviously, you've got to get over the pond, but then you don't want to hit it too far where you're then behind the trees and have to chip out like this young man did a moment ago.
I would imagine this shot here is going to be a pitching wedge.
Tim Kaskowski, we're told, from Hartford Tech. Should be laying one there, so hitting against the green, looking to try to get close enough for that elusive bird. Yeah, this might have been was this the chip out, Paul?
This was the chip out. He was underneath a tree and chipped it out.
Yeah, this is Josh Bretthauer from Bel Air.
Yeah, this is Josh Bretthauer. Thank you, Bob.
I heard, oh, it's way back in the back of the green.
Yeah, back in the back of the green. Long, obviously, this
30,
green.
30-foot putt, probably.
We talked about it, Paul. It's probably 30 yards long and not more than 10 yards wide at its widest point. That is Kaskowski from Tech.
Looks like about 100 yards out. And here we are right here.
Just in the upper right-hand corner of the green short. So we've got 3 balls on the green. Bob, do we see the 4th ball?
No, it's Erica Honadels from Aberdeen. She's walking on the path between the 2 trees right now.
I don't think that's her first shot, is it? I think that's her second shot. Is that right, Nick? Wow. We're told that's her first shot that she, now remember she's hitting from the ladies' tee, which is not nearly as far, but she'll be chipping to try to get it close. We saw that shot before. Maybe the ball was a little bit closer to the tree. Bob, for an accomplished golfer, and Paul, not impossible. For me,
From where she is,
yeah.
it's you've got to stop it.
It's about 55 yards, 54-yard shot.
Some sort of maybe the 64-degree, Paul, or
Well, I
60 degree.
I would say she probably might be using a sand wedge here.
Now remember, she is a freshman from Aberdeen.
Now, her brother played in this tournament last year.
That's a good-looking shot.
Nice shot.
Puts it on the green, maybe 25 feet away.
So we're going to have some birdie putts here.
We are. Erica Honendale, a freshman, all qualified for the state tournament and playing today in the second top seeded group. So you know how skilled she is.
To come on this side of the pond. Very smart.
This first shot here from Josh Bretthauer. Going to go left to right.
Bob, that's the golfer getting ready to hit near you.
This shot's the one near me is going to go left to
I
right.
think it's gonna be this
and it's
guy, but I
long.
could be
And that's
wrong.
Brett
You
Howard.
guys are standing there, I'm not sure.
You're going down, going up, and then you
Furthest
go
guy,
by the
right?
hole, you're going down quickly.
Sorry.
Kaskowski, we're told, Ted Kaskowski.
Now this shot's going to go right to left.
Yeah, the one over here.
Okay, now hitting the ball here.
Oh, well.
Left.
And short. Tim, was that Kaskowski? I mean, Nick, was that Kaskowski? That was Kaskowski.
This is the one that's going to go left to right.
This is Bel Air's Brett Howard. Good roll, Paul.
See
Yep.
how far that drops off if you don't hit it.
You would think the North Hartford golfers would have a bit of an advantage
Man,
playing here
every
day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Now Erica's shot, you have to hit high to the right and let it run right down to the hole. Because if not, it'll break to the left, and if you don't have the right speed, it'll fall off 6-8 feet.
And Bob, she's got that pock mark, I call it, the chemical damage here to the green to go over. So that's a parable.
Yeah, it's a horrible putt.
I didn't say horrible. I
I
said
said poor,
horrible.
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 I didn't say. But you know, if I was going to end up, I would want to be in that area.
Absolutely.
That's
Below
where
the
I
hole.
want to be, below the hole, to the left of the flag.
Mhm.
That's where you want to be for your second putt or your first putt.
Josh Brettauer from Bel Air.
This is pretty straight,
A little uphill.
uphill.
Just fell off to the right just a little bit. I believe that's for the bogey.
Now, Mitchell Walt's putt from Patterson Mill is going to go a little bit right to left. But from that spot, it's fairly straight, maybe a ball outside the cup, 2 balls.
Gave it a good wrap. Let's see if it
Not
gets
enough-
there.
Not enough speed.
Well, that hill, it's deceiving,
It
Paul.
is, yep.
It doesn't look like it's that much of a hill, but it really is.
If you notice, the young lady marked her ball and put her mark at a different spot because the mark was in the way of the next golfer for putting. So when she goes back up, she'll move her ball back over.
One thing about the game of golf, it does teach you civility, hopefully. Kaskowski now from Hartford Tech. Just by the hole.
We've seen it 3 or 4 times today, just going right by the hole.
Mhm.
And she moved her mark right back where she was.
Erica Honendale from Aberdeen High School, a freshman. For her par.
Nice par.
That is a great par. Erica, who came in at +5, will leave this hole at +5. And here's Mitchell Walls. I think Mitchell is putting for his par as well. I think he came up here just a bit short right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Nice par.
And taps it in. And now Kaskowski from Hartford Tech. I think we have 2 pars here, Honendale and Walls, and the bogey for Brettauer. safely in. I think that is maybe for the bogey as well. We'll confirm that when Bob has a chance to get the scores as they go off. Paul, which leads us to our final pairing, our final foursome, Will Curry, Zach Wilcox, Paula Moon, and Michael Cummings. Again, these are the top qualifiers in this tournament. Seen a lot of good golf. According to my records, we have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like maybe 5 pars we've seen. Bunch of 7s. No, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 pars we've seen. Yep, 6 pars.
While we got a second, we need to give a shout out to these guys here at HCN here that's done so much for us here today. And
Absolutely.
nobody sees any of those guys, but if they didn't do all this stuff, and wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to put this on.
Dennis Cassidy, of course, the director today, is a great golfer, loves to golf, and he looks forward to this event every year because if you're a golfer, you appreciate people who play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and these kids do. But yeah, all the camera guys, Dylan, the sound engineer.
All the tech guys have really helped us out here.
They really do. Can't forget Tom over there on the camera. Tom always tells me every time that was the best you've ever had. Of course, the sample size is pretty small, so
Don, you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. On that hole, we had Josh Brett Hauer had a 7, and he's +4. Erica Hanadel had a par. She's +5. Tim Kaskowski had a 5. He's +7. And Mitchell Waltz had a 4. He's +3.
Very good. Thank you, Bob. So was Hanadale did get the par, Kaskowski a bogey, Walls a par, and a 7 for Brett Hour. Nick, can you repeat what you just said? And do we know who hit that ball? Zach Wilcox is hitting the ball. I think, Nick, I heard you say the first ball was hit just past the tree. To the left side of the green, so Creary definitely tried to cut the corner and try to get it on the green and won. He's safely to the left side of the green. Wilcox getting set to hit. Wilcox using an iron right in the middle of the fairway, and again you see, Paul, the varying techniques where Creary tried to drive the green. Wilcox took an iron and hit it out in the middle of the fairway.
Like we talked in the earlier, this is a hole you don't want to get in a situation where you're getting a 6 or 7 or an 8, and the two different golfers look at it differently. One guy thinks he can do it this way. Another guy wants to be safe in the middle of the fairway and get on in 2.
Yeah. Well,
and they both can get the same results.
They can, and depending once you get on the green, then of course your problems begin in terms of, this green is the courses that we see and we play. This is probably one of the most challenging greens that we have.
Part of the problem with cutting the corner is you have those 2 trees that may be in your way, which you don't have in the middle of the fairway.
Absolutely, and Bob, you've got to go up over that trap, and there's such a short area, small area to land the ball.
To me, what makes it different though than other years is that tree, the big tree that was down there. You don't have to deal with that anymore, and most people are landing in that area where they don't have a tree that's not in their way, and I would be challenged to take this route also.
Okay, Paul, I will confess, I came out one night at midnight and chopped it down. I had my chainsaw. Zzz.
Nick wants to tell you something.
Yeah, Nick.
So you're finally going to admit that.
Repeat, Nick.
Said you're finally going to admit that.
Paula Moon hitting the ball from Patterson Mill. Yeah, I have to admit it. Finally, they trapped me. They have like a camera that they saw me. That was me out here with my chainsaw midnight. Hybrid right to the middle of the fairway, Paula Moon.
Have the hybrids changed golf any, Don?
Oh, for me it has.
It's changed it for everybody, you know.
I don't carry a 4-iron or a 5-iron
Right.
anymore. The hybrids are just such a step up, make it easier for old
You
guys
don't carry
like
a
me.
driver either, do you?
I do. I've started to try to use that again now. Not very successfully, but you've shamed me into it.
Yeah.
Paul always says, put away that sissy club, take out a driver, and tempts me into doing it. And I hit it somewhere where it's not supposed to be. So here we are with our final group of the 6 that we're taping today. Will Creary, Zach Wilcox, Paula Moon, and Michael Cummings. We talked about Will Creary, who was the winner in the District 7 tournament. It was staged a couple of weeks ago at Mountain Branch. Shot a 74 at Mountain Branch. Not bad. In fact, very good. Mitchell Walls shot a 76. We saw him come through a bit earlier. Paula Moon, whom we're seeing now, shot a 78, and Erica Honendale had a 79. Of course, this tournament will continue. Once these players are finished, the 18, they'll go ahead and play number 1.
143 yards.
This is the drop area. Nick, I'm not sure if this player had to take a drop or not. I've lost Nick. It should be Zach Wilcox from North Hartford.
Nice shot.
Great
oh,
shot.
Look at the spin on that ball.
Great
too.
shot.
Yep.
You're right. That's the first time we've seen a ball come in and actually take up as that one did.
Yeah. You see where he ended up over?
Yeah.
Way back here. That's his first shot. That's his drive, I believe. Where Nick is over here.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, Nick is helping to move the cameras and so forth. So apparently Will Creary's shot is just to the left of the green. Wow.
See, I like that shot. I think it, with the going down and back up, if he can land it right over the, just right over the edge and then let it roll up. I can see he's playing the strategy now. I think he's.
Paul, that shot maybe 330 yards to that point where he is.
Gee.
Maybe a little less because of cutting the corner. I think that's Will Creary.
Will Creary.
I believe. Yeah, Nick was helping us move the camera. So, Nick, what you're saying is that Creary hit the ball there on the drive? Paula Moon is out in the middle of the fairway hitting the ball.
About 135.
And a nice shot. Right on the green.
Yep.
So Paula Moon is on. Will Creary is just a bit long in 1. I emphasize that. He's there on his drive.
See, if you know, these two both got on 2, and he taking the shortcut, he can still get on 2. So it's all how you want to strategize.
Cummings, Paul, with a great shot hit on the near side of the green and rolled up about 10, 12 feet away.
Oh, yes. Got a few birdie putts here.
We do. So Cummings, Moon, and Wilcox all on the green in 2. Creary. I've lost Will Creary now.
He's back in the, hiding behind that red bush.
So his ball is back that far, Paul. I was thinking
Yeah.
it was on the crest of the hill. It's not. Oh, what a great
Look at
shot.
this. Look at this.
Unbelievable.
Oh, right where you want to be, too.
Will Creary, what a shot by Will Creary. He was about, what, 10, 12, 15 feet, maybe longer.
Longer, probably.
Now near the cart path. No grass out there. I mean, how do you get your club under the ball the way he did?
You notice he come up on top of that hill about 3 times and using his practice swing.
Nick, I'm sorry I didn't hear you. Second place in the 1A, 2A. That was as a junior. In the state 1A, 2A, as we told you. Yeah, you're saying he's a junior now? He's a senior now. Yeah, he qualified as a sophomore. Won this tournament, I think, as a sophomore. Nick is confirming that. Did he also, Nick, win last year here? Yeah, so he has won now. This would be a, he's going for the triumvirate, whatever that means. He's going for his 3rd straight. Paula Moon. Now, Nick, Paula had a sister, right, who played here? Her sister Audrey, who was a great player. Graduated maybe, Nick, what, 2-3 years ago? 2 years ago. So we have a series of birdie putts here, and just exactly what we thought we would see, or hoped we would see, Paul, with the top qualifying group. Paul, I think our folks can see the size differential, proving that in golf, really it's one of the great sports that you can be big, small. You know, if you hit the ball well.
It's all about timing and rhythm.
Here's Moon now. Bob, it's that putt breaks left. They're just not realizing that.
Yeah.
So Moon is in position if she can make that for her par.
And everybody took the flag out, so we're...
Moon had left it in.
Yep.
This is Michael Cummings of C. Milton Wright.
This is when you got to be right on the hole with, because if you're not, it's going to go by it.
Nice
didn't
speed.
go by. That's nice speed there.
I didn't see that much of a break left, but it certainly did.
I thought I saw a little bump in the bounce in the ball. as it was-
Exactly. That chemically damaged area. Now here's Zach Wilcox of North Hartford putting for his birdie, I believe.
Hit something there, bounced.
Yeah.
He hit a rough spot there on the green.
Yeah, certainly not the putt he wanted.
No.
Now here's Will Creary. Remember, he was way behind the green, 20, 30 feet. Chipped it up this close. Looking now to convert for the first birdie we will have seen all day.
All
Yes,
right.
there it is.
Good birdie.
Good birdie. My partner gives him a hand. Good job, Will Creary. So Will sort of caps our day by recording what was not an easy birdie. That second shot was just brilliant. Now Paula Moon looking for her par.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
360.
A satellite. It went round and round, and that's the one that almost never goes in, Paul.
Yeah.
But it did. It came all the way around a full 360 and went
That's
in.
when your heart jumps up to your throat and then back down.
Oh, Paul, a great concentration. Wow.
She's smiling now.
Little drama there. Zach Wilcox. Looking for his par.
Oh,
As a golfer, you can just simply say, I've been there and done that many
Yeah.
times. Zach with a 5. Bob will confirm. I think this is for a par as well.
Yep.
According to my notes, Michael and Paula have pars. Will Curry has a bird, and Zach Wilcox has a bogey.
That's what I had. Did you notice as these groups get, this is the higher rated group, how much more methodical they take, and
Yeah.
how much more time they take with what they're doing, precise precision of how their swing, their putt, everything.
Yeah, the strategy of the game.
Strategy is just, and that's something you develop. I think course management sometimes, that's what kids need to develop when you're learning golf. Learn to do the course management to save yourself a lot of strokes down the road.
Bob's going to give us the final results on this particular hole, and we'll be wrapping it up from this spot for you. Paul, it's been a pleasure having you along. Thank you for coming up from Joppatown. Bob came all the way up from Anne Arundel, and now, Bob, you've got those scores?
I have the scores.
Please.
You ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Will McCreary had a birdie 3, only birdie of the day so far, and he is even for the holes that have been played so far.
6 holes.
Zach Wilcox had a 5. He is a +2. Paula Moon had a 4. She is a +7. Michael Cummings had a 4. He is +2.
All right, so the leader, Michael Corona Falston, who's a couple holes behind us now, had played a couple less holes than Will Curry has. They both have even, at least when they passed here. Zach Wilcox, who had a 5 there, is a +2. Paula Moon, a par, is a +7, and Michael Cummings had a 4. He's a +2. So again, Paul, this is something I look forward to every year, coming here to Geneva. Bill Bissell is just a tremendous host for us. John Evans, of course, who is the tournament director, Nick Panos. We can't say enough of all the help they give us, and of course the Hartford Cable Network crew. Their support and their expertise.
I think if anything, I look forward to this every year also, and I always look forward to getting a chance to work with Bob McComb, but especially with you.
Oh yeah.
I've worked with you in many things over your career. You're an asset to the Hartford County, and you're an asset to the youth.
And you read that just the way I wrote it for you.
Well, let me finish here, because you are an asset to the sports in the Hartford County and the kids that you've dedicated your whole life to, and I'm very appreciative to know you and to work with you, and thank you for all you do for these kids.
Oh, it's very kind of you, Paul. Thank you, and the same goes for you. Your dedication, a member of the Hartford County Hall of Fame, a member of the Edgewood High School Hall of Fame. Bob McCone, the Hall of Fame member at Edgewood High School. I just feel privileged to be around such royalty. Bob is saying, what can I say, right? Bob, I do appreciate your coming up and helping with this. You are a tremendous asset, talking about the putts and so forth. What impressed you about the golf today?
It's always a great day, and I guess Will McCreary just really topped it off for us with that birdie. We saw how tough the putting is on this hole, and we had one birdie, and I don't know what, about 4 or 5 pars on the hole.
Yeah.
For the groups we saw. Great day.
I think a total of 8 pars with those last 2.
Yeah.
We saw some 7s, which we're familiar with because that happens a lot.
Yes.
And we saw some good play and some tough play. We saw the challenges here at the Geneva number 18 present.
Yes.
Bob McCone, thank you so much. And stepping into the camera, Mr. Nick Panos, come on in here. Nick, who's the coach at North Hartford, thank you, sir. Always a pleasure. Thank you for your help.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
I want to thank you all for tuning in. This has been the Hartford County Championships, the tournament. We'll have the results for you in the form of a graphic after this is completed. Of course, obviously, these golfers are continuing. If you started on the 13th, you'll go around and play through number 12 when you finally finish up, and the winners will be announced, and it'll be fun.
Thank you, Don.
Paul Metzger, great
day.
fun as always.
Thank
Thank you all for tuning in. Again, it is the high school sports on the Hartford Cable Network. Don Morrison, my partners Bob McCone, and Paul Metzger will say good evening, everyone. Thanks for watching.